Hello and welcome to a video for pre-algebra. This is a review of adding like terms and the distributive property. These are two very important concepts, so that's why we're going to review them with just a few problems here basically. So let's go ahead and just get right on started. Question 1. R plus 5 plus 6R. The directions on this would read something like simplify or simplify the expression. What it's wanting us to do is check to see if there's anything we can do to make it so we are basically writing less. So let's think about this. We've got an R, a 5, and a 6R. What of these can be added together, if anything? The answer to that is R and 6R. Because we'd say, okay, R means that we have a single R, and 6R means we have 6R. So together, how many R's do we have? We would have 7R. And then the 5 doesn't add with those because the 5 does not have an R with it. So we just say plus 5. The deal with these variables is that it's like we're saying, if we have one R, we're saying we have one container filled with an R amount of something. I don't want to draw 6 of them, but 6R would mean we have 6 of those containers. Okay, and so together we have 7 of those containers that contain some amount R. 5 doesn't have that same thing with it. 5 is just saying that we have 5 of something, but not 5 of like a certain number that we don't know. So that's why we can't add them together. So our answer to this is 7R plus 5, or you can write that the other way around. If you wrote the 5 first, that's fine. So each of these, we're going to see that there's two possible ways to write it, because we could write it with 7R first or 7R second in this case. So that's how we do adding like terms. Let's do some more just for practice. 1 minus 4x plus x minus 8. So we're going to say minus 4x and plus x are like terms, and 1 and negative 8 are like terms. Make sure you're taking the sign that's right in front of this term, like we are breaking this up so that each of these have their own signs, plus or minus signs. So make sure you take the correct sign with it. So when we do negative 4 plus 1x, that's going to give us negative 3x, because adding 1 to a negative number makes it slightly less negative. Then we've got 1 minus 8. Same kind of situation actually happening. I'm going to make it slightly less negative. So that'd be negative 3x minus 7. Again, we can write it the other way around, and that would still be correct. 1 plus 3n plus 9. Well, our like terms here are the 1 and the 9. So the 3n doesn't have anything to add with it, so it just gets to stay 3n. 1 plus 9 would give us 10. Easy peasy? Hopefully. Let's look at distributive property. So this property is going to be a thing that comes up a lot from here on out. And so it should actually end up being fairly second nature to you. We distribute this negative 6 into this parentheses by saying, I'm going to multiply both of these things by what's outside. And the reason we do this is we can't add the 7x and the negative 9 here together because they're not like terms. So instead, to get rid of our parentheses, we need to multiply them both. So negative 6 times 7x gives us negative 42x. And negative 6 times negative 9 gives us a positive 54. So that's all we can do because one has an x and one doesn't, so we can't add like terms. There aren't any like terms, so that would be our answer. Negative 2 distributed in here to 9b minus 10. Negative 2 times 9b is negative 18b. And negative 2 times negative 10, a negative times a negative makes a positive, so that would be positive 20. If you are getting the signs wrong on this, that means that you need to probably review your positive negative multiplication rules. If you're getting the numbers themselves wrong, maybe this is you need to know your multiplication tables better. If you are changing one number, not the other, that's a distributive property issue. We change both numbers based on the number on the outside. So it is helpful if you're going through and trying it on your own to figure out when you're messing up, why are you messing up? Now, this is going to have us do both, actually, things. We're going to distribute and then check for like terms. So when I distribute this -7, it only affects what's inside the parentheses here. So I'm going to do -7 times x, and then I'm going to do -7 times -1, which would give me +7. And then the +10 just gets to drop down because there wasn't anything that we needed to do with that +10 yet. Now that we don't have parentheses, though, we can do 7 plus 10 and get 17. So this would be -7x plus 17. Let's look at the next one. 10 plus 4 times 1 minus 2x, not x, k. You might be looking at this saying, oh, I should add the 10 and the 4 together. And there could be a variety of reasons that you would decide you wanted to do that. That's not the correct order of operations. We always multiply before we add. And so that 4 needs to actually multiply into the parentheses next to it before we try to add anything. So if they wanted us to do 10 plus 4 at the beginning, they would need to put parentheses around it like this to show us that they wanted it first. Since they didn't do that, we have to assume that the person who wrote this wants us to distribute and then add the 10. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times -2k is -8k. So we're going to do 10 plus 4 and get 14 minus 8k. That would be our answer. Let's look at another one. -10 plus 3 times -5x minus 7. So we're going to distribute the 3 just like the last one. We don't add these together first. We have to distribute first. So we're dropping down the -10. 3 times -5x is -15x. 3 times -7 is -21. Going to put these together. -10 plus -21 is -31 minus 15x would be our answer. And again, on every single one of these, if we wrote it the other way around, it would be fine. You just have to make sure that your signs match, that these don't magically become positive if I switch them around or anything like that. That's our review for this week of distributive property and adding like terms. Hope you liked the video. Hope you literally liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.